and then rook b1, and you cannot take on d4. And he has castle, but yeah, either the immediate knight b3, or if we can include bishop a3, rook e8, we clearly, I think, want to include bishop a3, rook a8, because it also takes away the b4 square from the black bishop. Yeah, it might be
horrible for black. I'm sorry. It
might be quite tricky for black to get out of this.
Also incredibly greedy, all the stuff he's done. No, starting with dc4 feels like a greedy move already, and then all this bishop b4 followed by c3. Like, I like pawns as much as the next guy, but this seems excessive.
Yeah, but he's -1, so maybe he wanted to complicate things.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable explanation.
If you go knight f6 here, how bad is it? Like c5, I go back. Well, what's the?
Yeah, I was wondering why we actually even needed to accept that pawn sacrifice, and the other side of the same pawn.
Knight h4, if knight f6. Yeah.
Yeah, probably this is the point, and also this is the point why c6 was played prior to knight f6, because you don't want to be allowing
h6 after c4, h6 or bishop e7.
Yeah, something like that is definitely a playable strategy, because I don't think we're that worried about c5 with our bishop already sort of out beyond the fence.
Yeah, looks like Firouzja in trouble. He's down 1.5 half against Ding Liren in this first match they play against each other. If he lose this game, he lose the match.
Yeah, and it's difficult to make moves because bishop before the move I kind of mentioned more or less loses to knight c5, it feels to me.
Yeah.
You just don't have a good reply. And if bishop before is impossible, that bishop on c3 is in genuine trouble. Bishop a3, queen c2.
Try bishop h5.
f3, or yeah, maybe even g4. Yeah,
g4, I thought maybe
knight takes g4, yeah.
But it doesn't work. You will have f3, yeah.
f5. f5. No. This is an actual knight h6 check, yeah, of course.
Queen h4. No, my idea was queen h4, but then f3.
Yeah, then we stabilize. Yeah, I thought the idea was f5. No, it's just so far I'm struggling to find a way to continue that I don't just hate for Ali Reza here.
No, there's a question. Sorry, go ahead.
Queen e7.
Queen e7 maybe, yeah. Queen e7 is a smart choice.
But just to be able to prepare bishop b4.
But then again, like even this position, let's say I go queen c2 and I go knight c5 anyway after bishop b4.
Can I play like a3? I want to trap that stupid bishop.
That also is a very serious question. Yeah.
c2, maybe knight a4. No,
even queen c2, knight a4.
No.
Maybe.
It just looks horrendous for Ali Reza.
Ali Reza will need all his tactical prowess to hang around here.
Yeah, it does feel like he will have to. And queen e7 played. Queen e7 is a good spot. Nothing else really seemed like it was remotely playable.
But let's say you are white against computer. Would you have any doubt whatsoever that you are going to lose? I would not.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I don't think it has anything to do with the evaluation of the position, though. I think it's just.
No, I mean that it's not hopeless. That's what I mean.
I think I would expect to lose even if it is hopeless against the machine. This is the sad state of affairs, that it's not the kind of hopeless where you convert. You know, it's hopeless where you need to be precise for the next 10 moves.
I have a new question, by the way. Bishop g5 also looks annoying, no?
So everything looks horribly annoying. Yeah, bishop g5 might be a very serious move as well.
You're not afraid?
I would.
I go away.
No, but just take on g6 and go bishop b3. Come on, we're strategically winning, I think. No.
But you are pawn down.
I am aware. Yes, but
e5.
Can you count, Peter?
e5.
Yeah, maybe. Although seriously, I'm still taking white here very, very confidently. But
yeah, bishop before. No, I'm not. Of course, you have a great position, but I mean, the fight is still goes on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And maybe it actually is the best black has after bishop g5, because knight g4 is a very, or even knight takes g65, which I understand Jan mentioned, and I kind of, it didn't register, but now I realize that this is a much more immediate threat. Yeah, no, bishop g5 definitely, for me, I didn't even consider it because like it's very easy to switch entirely to the center and queen side when you analyze a position like this, because it feels like this is where all the action will be going on. But yeah, if the move occurs to you, it's a very attractive move.
Speaking of very attractive, nah, I can't land this segue. This looks boring and equal? Question mark.
Yeah.
I once won a very similar position against Van Hau in Olympiad in Hantimansis 2010.
But maybe the b pawns were already gone, no?
No, not go I think not gone. He played b5 already.
Yeah, but he also was okay until almost the very end, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I mean, okay, but worse. Yes.
Yeah, okay in the sense that he should be making a draw if he plays well. But the game went on and on and on, and eventually, yeah, he got tired and started making mistakes. Yeah, I remember that game. And bishop g5 played by Dean Liren against Firouzja. Yeah.
Why not?
He is a quality player.
Yeah, Dean Liren is very much on point today so far.
Yeah,
Magnus played
to recover, yeah, after getting poisoned.
Getting poisoned?
In the quarantine. No, I mean, the way he was playing in the candidates. I mean,
oh, I see.
Definitely was poisoned.
He was poisoned, I see.
Quarantine.
How did it work for him, by the way? So he arrived to Russia, to Moscow, and then he has to quarantine 2 weeks in Moscow, or would he be allowed to quarantine in Yekaterinburg? How does it work?
No, I think they were provided with some kind of accommodation, not in Moscow proper, but in the suburbs somewhere.
I understand, but he wasn't allowed to go to Yekaterinburg first and quarantine there.
I think, once again, I don't know, but my guess would be it was easier to find comfortable, secluded accommodation for them around Moscow than it was for, because I think that particular operation was being run by the Russian Chess Fed side of things and not the Yekaterinburg organizer side of things. So it was a lot more logistically simple for them to organize something around Moscow. But I don't actually know. It's just what I would expect to have happened.
G5 played.
Yeah, this does appear.
Don't think Nakamura will get in any trouble here, no?
Hard to imagine, yeah, but no, I'll just stop there. Yeah, hard to imagine him being in too much trouble in this game.
Queen A3. I mean.
Well, I mean, I sort of understand your sudden pitch change, but what were you supposed to play there?
I mean,
Bishop C1.
Are we running into a discovery? Rook D3 and Knight X?
That is a very valid point, yeah.
Rook D3 played?
They don't call me Pythagoras for nothing.
Who has ever called you Pythagoras?
This is why Lauren said they don't call him. That's why he went with.
I believe in, angles, and the queen and the bishop are lined up.
Yeah. Lawrence, the famous.
Keep going.
He played rook d3.
Yeah, the famous angle shooter.
Isn't this just 1-0?
It looks very 1-0-y, but I don't know if I'm so far not entirely sure how we lose after knight a4, but we should be losing after knight a4. It's just very difficult to imagine
Queen
us not.
c2.
No, that drops the e4 pawn, which you probably don't want to be doing.
Take on g6 and queen c2.
Yeah, that probably is plenty strong enough. Knight a4 played, but yeah, just take queen c2 probably ends up. I mean, we're definitely winning the 2 pieces for the rook if we want, but I suspect we can win more. I suspect it's the least we end up picking up after knight g6, queen c2.
Yeah, because there might be some knight c5.
Knight c5
Yeah.
seems like an unstoppable threat,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, look, Jan's got a
Nelly,
friend.
what do you think? Is White winning? We're still working on her English. She just wanted to say hi.
Hi, Nelly.
Nelly, who's gonna win the tournament? Ding? No? No.
Just like
no
me.
idea.
She
Oh,
freezes
can't
under
hear us.
pressure.
She can't hear us because your headphones.
That also might have something to do with it. And apart from knight g6, queen c2, which is clearly very strong, there might be.
Oder?
Ja,
Stimmt das?
das stimmt.
Warum denn?
Okay. Nelly, we're losing the non-German viewership, so we have to switch.
Yeah.
So, do all of you have the emblems in your home?
No. It's some kind of a virtual background.
Ah, okay.
High tech. We can get you set up with the green screen, but I thought it didn't fit your persona. I like the lamp like that.
Yeah, but it's a different lamp, I think. Is it?
No, the same.
It's the same lamp. Oh, I missed that lamp. It's too small on my screen to see.
It doesn't work, so it just stands in the corner.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Okay, Ding played h4. He wants
The banter is off the charts here, boys. What happened?
He enjoys the game.
Yeah, I think this is just him being extremely happy with what his position looks like. He doesn't want to end the game too quickly.
It's like Leko said once. He was playing in Monaco tournament, a game against Morozevich, and Morozevich was playing an endgame with clear piece down. And Leko was not really doing anything. He was just goes there. And okay, finally he won. So we asked him, but why, what were you doing? I mean, you could win here, immediately here. He said, okay, he plays, so he enjoys, but he's piece down. So I'm piece up, I also enjoy.
Yeah, I think bishop takes f6 and knight c4 probably now does win a piece by force, which could be a useful thing.
Queen b4.
Yeah, knight bg2, because we have knight bg2. I thought was because now you played c5, so e7 is no longer available to your queen, so we just capture the queen basically, and whatever you put on b2, I take, and I rook gb3.
No, but bishop d2, take.
Knight c3, I missed that. Yeah, I did miss that. We can that as well.
This or
yeah, that may be.
Knight c3. I mean, you win, but maybe not the.
Yeah, maybe there is a cleaner solution. I mean, this has to be winning for White, but there might be something even stronger connected with, I don't know.
What
The
if
immediate.
Can I just be? I'm a simple man from humble beginnings. Can I just play knight takes c5?
Yeah, knight takes.
D takes.
Yeah, I was.
Here's a threat. Queen c5, rook c1. Am I?
Yeah, queen c5, rook c1. Oh no, queen takes c5 there. So.
Sorry.
No, but we include knight g6
knight
first.
g6 first. Yeah, exactly.
We include knight g6. But yeah, Ding has gone with my line, which should be. I think your line may have been cleaner actually, Lawrence. I don't disagree. But this also wins. I'm pretty sure this also wins.
I did drop pieces, but that's okay. Yeah, knight c4, queen b4. So he's going to give up the queen. Knight bd2. He's going to take and take. Take on d2. Take on b4.
Yeah, there's not much else he can do.
But then h5 wins.
Yeah, but then h5, and in that final position that Sasha mentioned after knight c3, there has to be. I mean, the rook takes c3 wins, but also queen g4. No, queen g4 f5. That it's trickier than I thought originally. But yeah, the evaluation should not be in much doubt.
Yeah.
Yep, he took.
Yeah, all of this. We can also play a3 here, actually. Maybe this is the cleanest solution. Just play a3 here.
I like that.
Force
Nice.
force the other piece to c3 and then play h5.
Very nice.
But he goes with h5 first. Alireza plays b5 instantly.
b5.
Yeah.
Ah, this saves the piece. If knight d2 is a mistake here because of c4, I assume.
Yeah, that actually is quite clever because it generates this c4 idea, which.
Yeah. So he went h5, b5 played. And now.
Yeah, now you actually have to think maybe for a second, which is I did not expect to have. Yeah, hg. I guess he goes bc. There's even maybe some argument for just taking h takes g6 in reply, but that's maybe a slightly too futuristic. So yeah, b takes c4. Well, there has to be a way to switch to giving mate here, like a gh first.
King h8. Ah, you want to? Sorry.
I want to. Yeah, but queen f3 doesn't actually create a mating threat. Yeah,
exactly.
I wanted to play queen f3 here, and I was briefly very happy with that idea, but you can just take my rook, and I probably do have the perpetual, but not more.
e5, you play e5?
Yeah, e5.
Knight c3, I think, yeah. Knight c3 probably holds things together there.
Yes, it does. It does.
He is slippery, Mr. Alireza.
He is definitely very slippery. GH played.
Because I would be tempted to take on f7 to
on f7. Yeah, that's also
because now positionally black is okay. I mean, I don't know. Rook f3, I guess you play, but
yeah, but even
simple.
Yeah, c3, I suppose. Yeah, because I don't think we can give up the pawn on c4. If we give up the pawn on c4, most of our counterplay is gone.
c3, maybe d5, but
maybe g5. Yeah, but it gets quite messy. It gets quite messy. Although I expect white should still be very much ahead with correct play.
But somehow this, I mean, knight takes c5 was just winning a piece clean, wasn't it? Unless I don't know. I obviously could have missed something there, but felt very.
No, but I think very simply, Ding missed b5 just as I did, for instance, and he assumed after h5 it's more or less resignable, and he missed that move even existed, and now he has to adjust to a dramatically changed landscape. But once again, I still think this is winning for white. Rook f3 played.
And also he's had to adjust to many dramatically changed landscapes recently. Rook f3 on the board.
Yeah, I think c3 queen c2 is probably just very, very bad for black. And c3 played, so I was sort of coming to the conclusion that maybe you had to try c takes d4, but that was never going to work somehow.
I'm not sure how well you guys can see the players, but does Magnus look a little bit like, what do you call this, a Sith Lord or some evil Star Wars guy in the big chair? Just a little bit?
Yes, a lot.
But it's all part of his psychological trickery. This is what you don't understand. This is part of the game. He's sitting there in his, in his big chair, and he's trying to psych out.
So you think it's an intimidation tactic?
Yeah, of course.
Owning a comfortable chair is an intimidation tactic.
Yes, I mean, I just had to get another cushion to sit on my 20-year-old swivelly chair, just so that I don't, have to limp off after the stream.
Do you think Nakamura's red background, it's demanded by one of his sponsors, or is it like, when you're trying to provoke a bull, you show him?
Exactly. He's another intimidation tactic. Don't underestimate these chess guys. Every trick in the book. The only guy who isn't doing it is Ding, because, well, it wouldn't fit his whole shtick. You know, it wouldn't fit his whole persona.
Alexander and Peter, you probably played against Ding. He seems so nice. Is he that nice?
It's difficult to get to know him too well because he is very reserved, but doesn't really. I can't say I had very many social interactions with him, but every single one I had, he was very, very pleasant, and he does seem to be a genuinely nice guy to be around. Yeah.
Can I just sorry to interrupt, but is Magnus magically making progress here?
He's made some progress. I don't know if that's enough, but he's definitely made some progress.
Okay,
yeah, but
because
Nakamura played very strange move around move 42. I mean, maybe I just don't understand because I thought he will go king d6,
And after knight g3
knight c7,
and knight e8, yeah.
or maybe just check and knight d7. No.
Yeah, it's his choice did not seem obvious to me at all. Yeah, and I think it is now very, very possible to imagine how he loses. In particular, the position they have right now on the board, I think b5, cb5, king b4 is like I'd be genuinely worried with black.
Yeah.
I think now it is extremely possible to lose this, and there will be once again it would illustrate just how good he is at these seemingly dry and naff positions, if I'm using the word naff correctly.
certainly are.
And b5 played by Magnus,
B5.
unsurprisingly. He's not going to miss an opportunity to make so much progress. I think cb5 king b4 might just be bad for black, and I don't know if he has too many better options. Like king c7 exists, but I don't know if that improves the situation enough. Yeah, cb king b4. Yeah, from this moment on, I do hang on a second. Is there some tactic I'm missing? Because Hikaru played knight c6, knight 6, knight a7. This is very smart by Hikaru. I missed knight a7. Maybe this still holds.
King a6 blitzed out. So knight
because
c5
now after
wants
knight
king
takes
a7,
c5,
yeah?
you do generate a ton of counterplay. Maybe we can take on a. Maybe we're fast enough to take on a7 here. That's very relevant. Because the knight from c5 cannot attack the pawn on e3 fast enough.
So Magnus pondering this decision, dc or king a7.
Yeah, king a7. If the knight doesn't go to g7, we take on f6, we take on d5, and we win. And this also looks like it's completely lost, right? Because the entire structure will just fall. Yeah. Feel like he is just winning by force here.
We can't hit anything serious. Yeah, knight d3, knight b3 played.
Knight b3 played. Knight f6, knight d4. That is smart.
Yes, but king b7. King b7, knight a5 check. This is.
He played king b6 instead.
Let's explain this. So knight takes f6, knight takes d4, and if you take the e-pawn, runs too fast. Therefore, he brings a king, and now after knight d4, ed, e3, the knight can still go back, stop the pawn. But Nakamura, after king b6, decides to activate his king, goes king d7, knight f6, king d6. Now knight d4, I guess, is a threat again.
Yeah.
Carlsen goes knight e8 check. What's going on?
I think Hikaru might be escaping and might be getting away with it because I don't see how we make any progress after king d7. Maybe king d7 we go knight c7, knight d4, knight d5. Maybe that is still time. Yeah? Maybe this is still good enough. Yeah, knight d5 and we
blitz out ed.
You can take. Yeah.
Okay.
And e3 knight e6. Yeah, that's that had to be a trick. And Nakamura resigns.
Wow.
Okay, so not a single draw so far, and Magnus continues just outplaying Hikaru in these
How does he win that position?
Close positions?
That's impressive.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing that he won.
Yeah, to begin with, what happens if you just play b6, b5 in some kind of position like that? Is one? Yeah, I have so many questions.
I mean, that's going to tilt Hikaru he's going to be on monster tilt because now he has to win to say.
Yeah, he has to win on demand once again.
Yes.
And I think losing the first one, he would feel I probably did something wrong in the opening and never really were in the game. But losing this one,
is unforgivable.
He will know that he had a normal position and let it slip somehow. And yeah, that will not be a happy feeling for him at all.
All right, 2-1 for Carlsen. Let's go to Ding Firouzja, still ongoing, and quite some action as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a funny position because White has a queen for rook, which normally isn't really that big of a problem to convert. But these pawns on d4 and c3 are troublesome. Should still be winning for White, I guess, but it's really not going to be easy at all.
So basically, if we go rook h3, queen c1.
I think the king runs over to e7.
Right, that's what I thought.
As fast as possible, like we just go king f8 straight away.
And we exchange pair of rooks and king e2, c2.
Yeah, and I think the way White normally wins positions like this is he does somehow generate threats against the black king and forces black to switch to passive defense, and then it collapses. But here,
he did play queen c1.
But without the check, I think after king g7, maybe he wants to play g5 first to start opening up some files.
G5.
Because I think g5 is like it fits the plan more than rook h3, because we don't always want the rook on h3, but we pretty much always will want to play g5 to make sure that the e7 is not such a safe haven for the black king here.
g5 played. Can we go c2, or will you checkmate me somehow? Rook f3.
I thought he will play f5. Yes, yes.
f5 played here.
f5. Wow.
Because I played tons of games with Alireza. Yeah.
Wow, what a nice resource.
I was sure f5.
Very nice. And
Alireza down to seconds.
Yeah, but do you think
I'm not saying it's a good move. I'm saying that.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask. I'm really not sure at all this is a good decision, but it's a decision that somebody like Alireza, I think, is very drawn to because it improves his counterplay. He now very likely will have even more of a pawn center.
Wow, g6.
What?
These guys don't respect pawns.
But now take and e3.
F4 and e3, yeah, though this is becoming an absolute mess.
No, he's going to go f4 now, blocking the queen. Oh no.
No, he already took on e4.
He took on e4. Okay.
And after rook h3, we go e3, fe3, d3, and after e4 we have d2. You can actually lose this with White now.
Gorgeous.
I think it's possible to lose this position now.
Oh my goodness! And ding down to 36 seconds.
Oof.
Are we going to see?
Yeah, and he looks.
I'm reading FE blunder.
Well, don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Says who?
Says maybe healthy brick.
Yeah.
Well, then we know it's true. But I think calling these things blunders is
10 seconds. Ding. 4.
Yeah, this is not a position. Yeah, GF. I was wondering about GF. I think it loses. Oh no, it does. No, it doesn't lose. Because I had too many black pawns on the board.
This is a draw for what's going on. If I take,
it's not
no, I think in g3 he might still be in control here after king f7, queen g8 because
d2.
King e2.
d3.
And then c2, and then c2.
d3.
No, d3, queen takes d3.
Queen,
but c2.
Rook d4.
No, but also this is at least a draw, right? He played queen f5 check. I no longer. Yeah, he probably wants to give a perpetual now, right? And he will have the perpetual if Alireza decides not
but
to.
maybe he's winning.
He's taking this pawn, this rook, yeah, yeah,
How?
no perpetual.
King f7. How do we pick up the? It's always going to be the d8 rook. I don't think we can get to the c4 rook. I think it's just going to be a perpetual now. I mean, queen g5 check still wins the d8 rook.
How do you go king f7? Yeah, yeah, draw
Yeah,
the
and
grid.
it's a draw grid. So that's a miraculous save
Wow.
by
What
Alireza.
a game.
Wow.
Yeah. That is a
I'm
truly
back.
miraculous save by the Phenom.
Wow. Ding left. Yeah, I missed the face.
I will tell you now the maximum advantage for white. I will.
Bring it up,
I think
Sasha.
it was +8, my guess.
No, more +27. No, if it's mate, then it's
Okay,
always a
so
big
one
plus.
move +13, one move, but it's okay. It's just a lucky chance, so it doesn't count. +6.5. No, it's just normally +6 and 5, and once it's +13.
Amazing.
Yeah, that game should have concluded the match. I mean, obviously, game 4 would still have been played, but Ding should be 3-1 up right now. And
you know, white was still winning after g6, f take e4. So
yeah,
the way to win is rook h3, e3, g f7, c2.
Hang on, g6, f takes e4. What do you do?
rook h3.
H3.
E3.
G f7, c2, king e2.
Yeah, good luck
That
with
is
that.
beautiful.
Good luck. Good
Now
luck with all of them.
d3,
King F3.
No, d3, king
Take it.
d3.
Yeah,
King
d2.
f7, king d2. King f7, king d2. And control.
Oh, come on.
Control
But
reestablished.
how is
yeah.
that even winning there? I mean, that doesn't... you want to play rook takes d3. So.
Sure.
No, black plays e4. I mean, game actually, like in practical terms, after e4, game continues.
Yeah, it's
we-
just +3.
Oh, okay, then.
Oh, only +3. It's practically equal.
Yeah, that's just a draw, obviously.
What a round. What an amazing round.
We've been very spoiled today, I feel like this is the perfect starting day for the Invitational.
So
Out of 6 games so far, one somewhat dry game out of 6.
Yeah.
and so that
Too
means-
much action. I have to excuse myself for 2 minutes. Lawrence, your show.
Please do. All right. So with all of that, it means that Alireza has to win with the white pieces
Mm-hmm.
in the next game, and Hikaru has to win with the white pieces as well in the next game.
Yeah, the situation is very clear cut. 2 people have the white pieces and have to win on demand to force Armageddon.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
you have to say that it feels slightly strange to say that, because honestly, the Hikaru match seems to have been closer so far. I mean, Hikaru won a very nice game with white and should have drawn game 3 with black, whereas in the Ding match, game 1 was just very normally, like it's a correctly played game, I think is the current way to describe games like this. No mistakes, black equalizes out of the opening, draw. And in games 2 and 3, I think Ding completely outplayed Alireza in both of them. But somehow it feels that Alireza actually has better chances of winning on demand than Hikaru, even though Hikaru already won sort of on demand with white.
I think that this loss by Hikaru is so deflating. I can't even see. I mean, of course, you can see it, but I really feel as though Magnus is going to win the match. But I am reasonably optimistic with Alireza. I mean, for Ding, he'll realize how winning that was and how many different ways. And to not be able to seal the match with such a convincing advantage, I think it's going to be potentially problematic for Ding. I think Alireza's got, if he can get the kind of position Alireza is so good at, I
think very much depends on the opening in that game. And
Ding's not playing a night off this game. Is basically.
I don't know. I think once again, I think he is actually like if you watch his interviews, he is very soft spoken. He is always extremely polite towards his opponent and seemingly never says a word in anger. But he is a very principled player. He stands by his convictions in terms of opening preparation, and he is in his quiet way, he's a maximalist. I think he goes for what he believes is the correct choice. And if one of the things he wanted to do in this event was to take Naidov out for a spin, I don't think the match situation necessarily will impact his decision making there. I honestly don't.
Let's
But
see.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, obviously, from a purely like mathematical / EV viewpoint, playing the Spanish, which he's been playing his entire life, going for some solid theoretical line, which he probably knows better than Alireza because he is one of the premier players of the Spanish with the black pieces these days.
What's going on here? I leave for 2 minutes and you replace me with Anish Giri?
Have I?
Oh,
welcome, Anish. How are you? Have you
Giri.
talked yet? I can only see you there. Can't hear you yet.
We have not heard one peep out of Anish just yet.
Oh, okay. Still can't hear you.
He's muted. We have to get
He's
Anish.
there. One of our participants in the tournament.
And you can hear me now, probably, yeah?
Yeah.
Because my son, he likes to click at this microphone. I told him not to do it, but he does it anyway.
Been there, done that. How are you, Anish? Are you in deep preparations for your match tomorrow? You're playing against Maxim Vasilya-Graf.
Yes, today I spent a lot of time preparing.
Can you give us a little sneak preview? Like, what are you?
You mean share
towards?
screen or?
Show your files.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking already because I heard you have to share screen as a participant, and I was planning to look at my files between the games. One time I'll forget it, and I'll show you some of my files by accident.
This whole tournament is an elaborate scheme to screen grab your files after all these years, finally.
Yeah, that's a good moment to do so after the candidates and all that.
What do you mean after the candidates? The candidates are still very much in progress.
True.
Anish, we've got the final round to go with both players needing to win with white, Hikaru and Alireza. And excuse me while I don't check my files, I'm just going to recall. But isn't Magnus's opening, I vaguely remember being like close to not working? I did look at this.
I mean the Keres, right? He played.
Yeah, but this line with E5, I have vague memories of this just being busto somehow.
Yeah, I think it's a game. It looks very similar to the game of Luc Van Velle against
Luc Van Velle. There's exactly
against Yuan Gi, no? In some team competition where I played as well. Yeah.
Guys, this is all very interesting, but we have liftoff in the Nakamura Carlsen game as well. So we have.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't really listening. I was trying to work. Here we are.
I was saying that this move E5, I vaguely remember even looking at this and thinking.
And are we going to mention the fact that Hikaru didn't play 6G4, or are we going to pretend that never happened?
Yeah, that's actually. Jan even mentioned that nobody plays the pure Scheveningen.
I mean,
how did I do, Anish?
Really badly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Because G4 exists.
Yeah, and I mean there is like it's hard to imagine a reason not to do that, no? Because in all the setups you want to go G4. I guess maybe G4 E5 or something like this was.
Yeah, people have been trying to get E5 knight A5 H5 to work.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, but
it doesn't quite work. No.
It's also an interesting choice because Magnus he just had to be solid in this game. Yeah, I mean, from score point of view.
That's his drawing weapon, the Scheveningen.
But maybe he looked at Hikaru's games and maybe Hikaru like not once in his life played G4 or something. I don't know. It's possible. You never know.
Because not once in his life did he face the Scheveningen, no? Who does that?
Yeah, but maybe he looked at all the online games as well, downloaded all the games from the servers.
That sounds like the Magnus I know.
That sounds like PH. Like he asked PH to do that, and PH did that and reported back to the Lord.
So what's going on now? Is this theory? Sorry.
Yeah,
I think takes F5 is supposed to be like close to a refutation of this.
Yeah, but nobody knows anything, right?
Yeah, but it's a very good bluff for one game. Yeah, it's a perfect bluff for one game, even if you know it doesn't quite work. And also, I don't think anybody properly rechecked this in the last 30 years. So maybe the modern machines suggest it's not as bad as all that. But I think I vaguely recall this line not being great specifically because knight c6, b6, f5 is just too fast.
But I guess then d5 and some complications arise.
No, I think there's some
Or you cannot
incredibly
go
weird
d5.
lines like rook b8, castles long, queen a5, bishop c4, d5, e5, bishop a3.
Yes,
Ah, yeah,
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Right.
It gets really weird really quickly here, but Sasha probably he's been silent this entire time. I have a feeling he knows exactly why this is not great, but
No, I think the only reason to go for this old-fashioned Scheveningen when you need a draw is the name of the tournament. I think if it has any other name but Magnus Carlsen Invitational, he's not doing it. Yeah, when he needs a draw. I mean, that's just completely ridiculous and I mean, senseless. I mean, idiotic. Whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's. I mean, if you just
don't hold back. Tell us what you really think,
Yeah.
Sasha.
I mean, terrible. Whatever. I mean, but of course, if the tournament has your name, you don't want to make a boring draw, you know, and just win the match. You want to provide some excitement to the viewers.
Hikaru would have made sure there would be some excitement anyway. I mean, as much as everybody respects Magnus, in such a match situation, everybody goes out for a win, especially with white, no?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Rapid World Championship, he didn't go out.
Yeah, but there was a lot of money at stake in the second place as well. I mean, today there's nothing at stake if you lose with 2.5 or 3.
Yes.
Today he would have definitely tried something, but just yeah, I think he wanted to play this anyway in the first game as well. He wanted to try. He has some idea. He knows what he wants to play here, and that's why he went for it. Now he
What's
already
going
has a
on
good
now?
position, no?
Bishop c4, knight g4 played.
Yeah, I guess it's already kind of fine for black or something.
No, I think I'm pretty sure you're supposed to play a5, and allowing knight g4 seems like you are making black's life arguably slightly easier.
Bishop
Because
d2, I guess, or
Yeah, we take on f4, we go castles, I suppose.
and then
Yeah.
long castle, and
Long
then you
castle,
move the
queen
queen. Yeah?
c7, yeah, queen
Knight
c7,
e5.
knight e5,
And if I play rook f1, if I try to stop knight e5,
actually, I would still take white in that position. To be honest, I still don't quite see why this is so great. But
Satiris, can you get rid of the board for 1 second? Yep, thanks.
Can you not try and exchange bishops there with bishop g5 when you castle long as well? Looks kind of sensible to secure the e5 square.
But isn't there bishop takes f? Ah, you mean later on, yeah. Mhm.
Well, yeah, when white castles long, you can go bishop g5.
no, you can. But after king b1, yeah, maybe you don't lose the d6 pawn. I was wondering if you lose the d6 pawn here, but I don't think
You just
do.
take a knight e5, right?
Knight
Mhm,
e5,
yeah,
very-
you're
very
in time
comfortable
because.
for black, yeah.
Mhm, Yep.
And Firouzja and Ding are just telling us, guys, we're okay, not getting any screen time. We'll play some very quiet Berlin. So please continue with the Nakamura
At
castle.
least I called that, Peter. I knew he wasn't going to play.
Yeah, I
Bible.
thought my argument probably wouldn't hold up under the the cold light of day, but it was a fun argument to make.
It was fun. But this is going to be exciting. So, but already.
No, I think Magnus is just perfectly fine now because
Right.
this is exactly why you play knight c6 and e5. This is a kind of
Right.
a kind of a structure you want to get. If you castle short here, I think bishop f6 is incredibly strong. Well, incredibly strong is maybe overhyping it slightly, but you do get to put your knight on e5, and after that, like how many problems can you possibly?
But isn't he simply better actually? I mean,
I think so. I think.
fine is one thing, but just very comfortably, nicely better because of very juicy square on e5 for no compensation.
Well, maybe white can actually take on f7 there in that line. Like castles, Hikaru already castled short, and after bishop f6 we go rook a d1. We force you to go knight e5 straight away, and by force you, I don't actually know if it forces knight e5 straight away. There's queen b6, queen b2, for instance, which needs to be calculated. But if let's say if that happens, if we go in the current position on the board, we go bishop f6, rook d1, knight e5. Maybe white can take on e5, take on f7, and not lose.
Yeah, but maybe you played wrong. I mean, this is definitely unclear. But maybe you don't have to go bishop f6 to begin with.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But if we don't go bishop f6, what I'm hoping for here with white is some kind of a situation where I will be able to take on e5 and force you to take with the pawn.
Yeah, the
And then
f7
I
pawn
don't,
is always...
yeah, and then I don't think white is worse. Probably in some cases he might even be slightly better.
Bishop f6
Depending
played.
But bishop f6 played, and it is clearly the most. And Hikaru instantly goes bishop b3.
Can't I take your b2
wow.
pawn, rook d1, queen b6, queen b2?
I was worried about
Bishop
bishop takes
d6?
d6
Yeah.
there. Yeah, bishop takes d6 there was worrying me quite a bit. I was not at all sure. I'm
And
not
is
losing.
bishop e5 bad instead of knight e5 or queen b6? It feels a bit slow.
No, not bad, but I think there we might be able to stabilize with white after something like, I don't know, h3.
But as long as black stabilizes, isn't he doing just very well? I mean,
yeah, but I think bishop f6 is an attempt to be better. I think Magnus is very
am I not
much
better? I think this isn't.
No, this I think is around equal.
Yeah.
I go back to as long as I don't blunder the pawn on b2 in the next move. I think if I get like, if you imagine this position with the king on h1, I go bishop b2, knight a4, b3, c4. I'm not worse. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bishop b3.
I like that Peter's verdict is just final. Like Anish is not putting up a fight.
Yeah, he's taken a leaf out the trumpet. My authority is total. That's what Peter's doing here.
Thank you.
No, frankly, I didn't like just the bishop f6 e5. The fact that it was a bit slow, but I was afraid.
No, if all else fails, it's an option. But now after bishop b3, we can even protect the pawn on f7 before putting the knight on e5, like queen e7 here. Yeah. Queen e7, knight e5 next move.
Hikaru sometimes, especially in rapid and blitz, he doesn't really, he doesn't look for a most principled move, and he makes this slow, lazy move like bishop b3, and it could be sometimes a massive positional mistake.
Rook e8.
Rook e8, yeah, with the intention of taking on e5 with the rook in all these lines, I guess.
What?
Well, I mean, rook e1, knight e5, bishop e5. We will now have to take with the rook, but we're not unhappy about that.
Very inventive, no?
Yeah, not a move like queen e7 looked a lot more natural to me.
Yeah, you don't really want to move the rook away from f8, right? A lot of the time, it feels as though
somehow I want to take rook takes f6 somewhere, somehow.
Yeah, but we should probably be able to.
Let's say take on
that.
bishop e5, rook e5, queen g3. Let's say.
Oh yeah, but I guess we can just go bishop e6 there.
And why did I take on e5? What if I go queen g3 first?
Some bishop h4? No.
Bishop h4, bishop e5 is a cute position. I don't know. It might actually be semi correct.
But even queen e3.
Bishop e6, no?
What bishop a6.
So Peter, this is then better for black or not? How do you?
What's the verdict?
Slightly.
Judge Peter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even that, let's say in the position we have on the board right now, after queen g3, bishop e6, I take, I play b3. Maybe it's not that horrible.
Unless there's something like queen a5.
Immediate, like something immediately. Unless I just lose material on this.
I thought Sasha said bishop a6.
I wasn't sure which one. Was it a6?
I said e6.
Oh, e6. I thought he said bishop
e6 maybe wins an exchange.
Yeah, exactly. That's
you could still have claimed it.
That's why I thought you said bishop a6 and bishop h4 wins the exchange.
Yeah. And then finally somebody will show on the board my
bishop takes e5 maybe.
My stupid idea there. Yeah. Bishop e5, rook e5. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not losing an exchange. I can move a rook somewhere.
Yeah. Anish taking up the Jan mantle of taking some statement and showing that it's not always true. And Magnus actually does go bishop a6.
He's good at attacking rooks.
It's very clumsy opening for white, yeah?
Very clumsy.
And the boring Berlin that we described is not boring. It still is an anti-Berlin, but this is not a boring position
it's
anymore.
So good for black, no? Knight comes to d5, bishop to f5. And...
Yeah, seems like Ding is like way ahead.
Is this like your game against Vichy, Anish, or is it a different?
Yeah, well, the structure is similar, yeah.
But I think sort of specifically to avoid what you did against Vichy, Ding played h6 very early on, right? To lock in the bishop on c1, not to let it get to
No,
g3.
but that was not my game against Vichy.
That was
It's
an
a
ammo.
completely different line.
Yeah, it was knight bd2, I think.
Okay.
But knight b3, I think, is a very clumsy move because I don't think it's where it belongs. But maybe
Yeah,
I'm
I
wrong.
was also very
It's
unsure about
it's
this.
a very, very strange move, I think.
It is interesting, though, that Ding says, okay, this night off was fun, but now I'm up 2-1. Let's play the Berlin, which he also doesn't usually play. Usually he's pretty much exclusively a Marshall guy. He's playing all these new openings.
He
Yeah,
played Berlin in some
and doing quite well for himself. I mean, he's clearly better in this game again, and well, again, just as he was at least at some point in the Niedorfen game too.
Can I interrupt? Magnus has taken on e5 with the bishop. Bishop takes off 7 check king e8. He doesn't have bishop takes e8 here, right?
He does, no? Bishop f1, rook f1.
Why has I'm now very, very confused.
What is going on?
But he will take rook e8, yeah?
He did it.
Bishop e8, no?
He did it. What?
But bishop e8.
Okay,
Queen b6?
Still completely okay.
Queen f2?
Just queen f3, yeah? Just queen f3 threatening mate, and then I'll go b3 and just better for white. Oh, queen f2 even. Oh, there's queen f2.
F2 plate.
Well, what does that
take,
change? Like bishop f1?
But
we
there's
can
bishop
take on
c6. Bishop c6.
b6 and c6. Ah, yeah. So he is just dead?
Did he blunder?
He blundered.
And if he'd taken first on f1, was there some queen e5 or something, or what was there instead of queen b6 check?
Yeah, I don't quite understand.
Queen e5, yeah, I've got.
Ah, yeah, queen e5 works, of course.
No,
yeah.
wait, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Just go
Yeah, it doesn't.
d.
It doesn't work.
Just go d.
Yeah, so why not bishop f1 first? It's a better order, no?
Probably just.
He missed queen f2.
No, it's
Or
like,
or
it's
the
like
Lul.
we have a mutual how to say, a mutual breakdown. I mean,
What is
first Hikaru loses this completely equal endgame and then gets worse with white against Kevin Ingen to the move 10, and then Magnus blunder. It's just, yeah, just some kind
and
of.
he's got 11 minutes.
And look at Magnus there.
You
can see the frustration.
He had 11 minutes to calculate there.
Where is
White lays
frustration?
out everything. He
I
has
wanna
to
see
adjust to
frustration.
this.
I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it's just resignable at this point, and Magnus's face says that he doesn't entirely disagree. Bishop d4 check, king h1. I guess I don't think it changes very much. Like your entire structure is about to fall off.
No, but he just ensures one Armageddon.
Yeah, I think. I mean, as viewers, I don't think we're unhappy about having an Armageddon, but yeah, this is just a very, very strange match that they're playing.
It's a blunderfest. It's a blunderfest.
No, the first two were actually very well played games by both. I mean, you can argue that Magnus in game 2 and Hikaru in game 1 did not play their best, but that they were reasonable games in which one player just played better than the other. But games 3 and 4.
But I have a hypothesis that you can never play a fine game and lose.
No, but what I mean is, like, neither game 1 nor game 2 really featured any like proper breakdowns in there were mistakes, but there were mistakes you could understand.
Yeah, but allowing rook e8 check, for example, in the first game was pretty bad, not to transition into lost bishop endgame.
Yeah,
from a
no,
drawish.
I agree, but still, yeah.
Okay, this was too much, of course. But he just blundered bishop takes e8, no? I mean, it's possible. The queen was hanging.
Yeah, but the point is, Anish, you need a draw to win the match, and you've got 11 minutes on the clock. Like, it's not.
Yeah, but it's not how. I mean, chess players, they don't think how much time I have, how much I'm going to spend. It's more.
He just resigned, so they
just work.
I like how Anish disregarded me as a chess player there. Chess players, we think, thanks, buddy. I understand how.
No, but I mean, it's all autopilot. Yeah, you think you take a decision.
But he spent like 10 seconds on the move. Yeah, It's
I
like
saw Alexander shook his head very strongly when he said chess players don't think about their time.
No, I'm just shocked by the game.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's just terrible. It's, I mean, if women would play such game, everyone would be laughing, say ha ha ha, women's chess. But okay, these are two of the very best players in the world. It's unbelievable.
I'm not sure what's up with Magnus's time usage because the first game was sort of similar.
know,
with Black. He
I
just
know.
blitzes out stuff. He's been playing too much bullet, yeah?
Yes, you have to go to Lichess and see how many games you played yesterday. I think it was over 100. So
Not familiar.
Against whom?
You don't know
Against-
what's that website? I heard it's trash. Is that no?
Oh.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Shout out to the boys at Lichess. They're good boys. They're a good team.
but he played over 100 game bullet match, I think. So not games in total. So I guess it accelerates slightly your instinct.
Because last time they played, I think, 200 games match.
Yeah, I don't quite understand this obsession people have with playing these marathon bullet sessions, but
Try it. You'll understand.
you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, 2-2 between Carlsen and Nakamura. That means we will get an Armageddon. I'm assuming it will start. I don't know, actually. Will it start in 10 minutes? What are the rules? And how is the color picked? Because it's 5 minutes for white, 4 minutes for black, and no increment. Anish, is that correct?
I actually saw it on my screen. Let me try and see if I can find it. I think I saw the Armageddon rules on.
Actually, I had a choice. I could either read the regulations or choice B, which I chose, is to wait for today and just see what happens.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
colors,
it's 5+4.
colors
without
determined by drawing of lots, which I don't know if that drawing of lots is going to be made public or if it's going to be done off screen.
They are on the screen again.
Can you explain me something? Why never ever in no tournament anyone tries to play Armageddon just with proper increment? Like white has 3 minutes, black has, I don't know, 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and just 2 seconds normal proper increment to avoid this, falling pieces bullshit, basically.
But here it's online, so there's no falling pieces. 5 versus 4 is not so bad, no?
Offline, I mean, is there any kind of rational reason behind?
Yeah, I think the point is that if you give increment, they think that white's advantage. I mean, white is at the disadvantage, yeah?
With increment disadvantage?
Yeah, because your time advantage is much more valuable when you have no increment.
Okay, so let's make 3 against 2 and then 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's possible. Of course, you can always give even less time.
I just don't see any reason.
But even online, you don't like it? I quite like it.
No, online
5 versus
is
4.
okay. Online it's okay, but live, I think it's just. I mean, if it can be avoided, it should be avoided. I think because it's.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's just that I remember there was a large fight to shift the accepted Armageddon time control from 6 against 5 to 5 against 4, because clearly 6 against 5 you always take black, and 5 against 4 it becomes a question again. But I honestly have never encountered the idea of going even lower than 5 against 4. And the lower you go, obviously, the more the extra minute matters. And then maybe you can actually start thinking about reintroducing the increment.
I don't know. I like 5 versus 4 in this format. And I think white has an advantage. It's probably wrong, but I would pick white. What would you guys choose?
Well, I very recently chose black, but it did not pan out for me. I never actually know. I think it very much, in my case, it very much depends on whether I actually feel like I will get a playable position with white or not. Because I think against somebody who I feel is not very far ahead of me theoretically, so that I can actually, I can get a game with white, I probably these days will pick white. But against people who I suspect might just make a forced draw against me with black and never have to start to think, that kind of influences my personal decision making very much in that spot.
What about you, Anish? Or
yeah, I don't think it matters. I mean, I played so many Armageddons, and I saw black winning, white winning.
And by so many, you mean
3
how
or
many?
something, like 3 Armageddons in my life, probably. So it's
Giant
No, but that's
sample
actually
size.
that's a lot more than most people have played. I think I played one against another person on screen right now.
really.
Yeah.
Alexander, what about you? Which color is better?
I played like 14, 15. And I mean, like emotionally, I would definitely like to choose white, but whether it's smart or not is another question. But it's, you know, it's nicer feeling. You feel heroic. You have to win. Romanticism. You know?
But also, how
Yeah,
many
yeah.
Blitz games are drawn? It must be like 10%. No, is it that many more?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a draw, rook down in the end game, for example. No.
Famously, you can make a draw with defending with only one rook.
Very good.
Let's have
Now,
a quick look at this game. This is, what do they
Yeah.
call this? The Irish Pawn Center? Triple C pawns?
yeah,
It's time to get rid of one, no? So c4 and
He did play c4, and the sacrifice was not accepted. Alireza played knight g4. BC bishop takes f3 would instantly lead to a very good position for black.
when did black? I mean, he had an advantage before, no? Like somewhere he messed it up.
Yeah,
a
I
bit,
think
or-
so, but I think maybe he played a little bit too conservatively at a certain point.
Oh, in fact,
and-
draw is enough for him, yeah. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, but there's no immediate way, I think, to completely liquidate everything on the board. I was trying to calculate. Maybe you can go.
Some CBA.
No,
B rook
you
B8
just
or
can't.
knight
C5,
C6?
knight b5,
And if
and
just CBA B rook B8, if you try to just go in for rook and
yeah, maybe just do this. But then you start pushing e6, e7, and
yeah, well, I'll use another rook to block it.
yeah, e6, rook f8 probably.
Yeah.
You're probably right. I think this has to
I mean,
be
objectively, it has to still be very much within. I mean, it's probably completely equal as well,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
He goes CB, AB, rook e7 instead of rook b8.
He wants to go another rook to b8.
Mhm.
Just get a slightly better version of that. Yeah,
I think currently the threat is rook fe8 even. He's actually going after the e5 pawn more than the b3 pawn. What's the reply to knight takes c6 here? He just takes and then goes rook b8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably is the way he is planning to. Because rook c3, rook b5 is just a draw. You can't actually keep the e5 pawn alive.
And the Armageddon of Magnus, are they going to wait for the other game to finish, or what's the deal?
I'm trying to get confirmation. My guess is they're waiting for the game to finish. Then again, I see Magnus sitting there. I'm not sure if he's in the mood to wait this one out. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah, it's his tournament, so he might just change them on the go.
And this one, e6 has been played.
Well, Alireza understandably does not want any rook endgames, just purely rook endgames just yet, because those felt to be completely level. But after rook f8, I don't know if he has any improvements. I think rook f8 actually creates a threat of taking on e6 because knight c6 rook.
Let's say some rook. Yeah, I cannot double. I wanted to double, but it's maybe a rook.
I don't think you get to. I don't think maybe something like rook c2. But after rook c2,
what
I
about
can
rook
spend.
c5?
Yeah, I meant more rook e5 or rook c5, but.
Yeah, bishop b6, rook e5, king f7. I have a feeling I'm
Knight
still
c6.
surviving this. Rook d7. How do you make any progress? But it is kind of cramped for black.
I like my rook on b8. To be frank, I really like my rook on b8.
Yeah, but we can still do that even now, right? Rook b8 is.
Yeah, I mean now. Yeah. I mean now to go rook b8.
Yeah. Rook takes c6. There's rook b4, which might knight f5 though.
Yeah, that's I think Alireza's plan to go rook takes c6.
Mm-hmm.
But you can play rook b8, no?
Yeah, that's probably just a draw. Yeah, g5, king g7, king f6.
It's slightly tricky because maybe you go h4 and the risk is that you will lose f4 pawn. But yeah, it has to be within, but it's slightly tricky.
I'm just looking at Magnus pacing. Now he's disappearing again. I'm guessing they're discussing behind the scenes if they should wait for this game to end or not, because I haven't gotten any confirmation of either.
Tension is real. It's getting more tense. I like it. So Ding has got tons of time. We didn't work out the cleanest way yet, right? to proceed here.
Of the things we discussed, I think Rook B8 is probably the cleanest, but there has to be more than one solution here.
So Rook
fairly
B8,
sure.
can you go Rook takes C6?
This is what we were discussing, yes.
Right.
Rook C6, we take, we go Rook B8, takes
Right.
H4. H4 is a very good suggestion by Anish. I think it's the only move that might present a problem. But I suspect like G6 is probably a draw, right?
No, objectively for sure, but you don't want to end up in any slightest trouble at this point.
Yeah, any 3 against 2 will be a bit annoying, but yeah, you on the other hand, you do know you don't lose them, so I don't know how annoying that even is.
Yeah, no, this is this should do this.
Yeah, this has to be a draw, yeah.
Magnus looks so annoyed.
Yeah, especially because even if he wins now, he still lost some points because the winner of the tiebreaker does worse than the winner of the main portion. So
What's the scoring system? You studied that part, yeah? You get more for a clean victory, or
no, I just know that it's better to win than to lose. So
I think it's a 3-0 and 2-1, depending on how you win.
Yeah, I think it's just an NHL system. 3-2-1-0.
no one understands your hockey references here. 3-2-1-0. Okay, got it. So like in Norway chess.
No, in Norway chess it was 4-3-1-0.
Ugh.
So it's kind of a difference.
Why can't any counting system be obvious like tennis?
That's a low-key good joke.
Thank you.
Jan is on fire today, no? So many good jokes.
No, there's too much stuff behind the scenes. Like I have to like wait for the PGNs to show up and read chat, so I can't fire up the joke cannon yet.
Are chat behaving themselves?
I don't know. I think there's been nothing but praise for you the last 3-4 hours.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Things going exactly as they should. Rook F8 in the end chosen by Liren, and after something like Rook C5, which is what we're discussing, my guess is we're not even obliged to, or Rook E5. Rook E5 is what Alireza played. We're not obliged to take on E6 straight away. I guess we can spend a tempo on something like, I don't know, G6.
But I don't like this because we keep the knight and the bishop on the board. I mean, I will, especially if you take, I will go Rook E1, then I take on C6. After G6, maybe I can start with B4.
Yeah, and I think he just calculated that he holds here because he snap took on E6 here, allowing that beam
but
that
Rook
we were discussing
E1,
earlier.
King F7,
King
Knight
F7?
C6, Knight
King
C6.
Rook D7.
Yeah, but there are like even Rook 5 E4 or something. There are some tricks, no?
Yeah, Rook 5-4. I guess he just wants to go Rook D6 here, and he is quite
But yeah, but
convinced
that's-
he is
Take
not
a 4,
worse.
take a 7.
White is happy here compared to the other things. He can really try to keep on keep the game going for a bit.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I have a feeling he just calculated this and he chose the most forcing line, even if it objectively gives White a little bit more of a shot, because he does get rid of that E6 pawn.
What also happens very often is that you try to calculate it clean way, then you don't succeed, and then after spending a lot of time, you think, okay, let's pick one of them, and then you pick not a very good one. That's also
That's true.
that's more my type of
Doesn't sound
experiences.
familiar.
That happens quite a bit. Yeah, I agree.
So you can never be sure.
I'm very impressed by Ding's dark background and giant white screen. It's a beautiful setting.
It
But
is.
do you see on the side like a little coffee table type of thing, or is it just?
There is something going on there.
Yeah, it is inviting.
Has
Maybe the mahjong table.
You
Have
think?
you ever played mahjong? Any of you?
Well, I
Mahjong,
played the Windows 3.14 had a mahjong app. I played up a lot of that when I was a kid.
But you mean what? It's a game for 4 people.
No, it was just
not some kind of jigsaw or something.
yeah.
like that.
I played a puzzle game where you have to remove the same tiles.
No. The real
No, I know the one you mean. No, that I've never played in my life. Have you?
Yes, yes. I played a lot with computer, and then I come to Chinese league, and my guys are playing with Nihua organizing it. And okay, so may I join one day? He say yes. Okay, but for you, we will play small. I mean, cheap.
Oh, you gambled.
So I sit
Gamble.
down, and he immediately gives me 5,000 yuan.
How much is that?
I mean, I have to buy in for 5,000 yuan. I mean, it's okay. It's like $600.
Oh, it's cheap, yeah.
And, yeah, he said, for
Welcome
you.
to the game.
Magnus and Hikaru are back. Is this starting soon? I'm very curious what compromise has been reached, or if they just should wait for the end.
Yeah. And I think we had some clarification on the topic of drawing of lots. The drawing of lots will be done off screen, so we will not get to watch it. But players obviously will have full visibility, and there will be.
I'm being informed that Magnus won the pick and chose black. Wow. So far, just in case he forgot, white has won every single game in this matchup.
Yeah, and Alireza is now a genuine pawn up in his game, but the knight is slightly misplaced on a7. So I guess black should be able to organize some counterplay against that knight and the pawn on b3. Something like rook b8 might be an immediate draw, question mark.
Rook c1?
Rook c1, yeah, I missed rook c1. After rook c1, I'm no longer that convinced.
No, maybe bishop d7. Bishop d7 looks normal.
Yeah, bishop d7 is also a very, very normal looking move here. Yeah, takes rook c4, I thought.
Yeah, but it's a typical position where you will just not manage to force a draw. You will really try very hard, but it just...
Yeah, I think what ends up happening is that you have to defend a 3 against 2.
Yeah,
and you don't even trade the rook. You don't even trade the light pieces. And that's actually kind of tricky. I'm not even sure it's such an easy draw, is it? Like rook and knight and 3 against
I think
rook and
it
bishop
depends.
and 2?
It depends how you got there. Suppose you were lost the whole game, then you got there as black, then you'll hold it very easily. But if you got it from this game, it's very tough.
Yeah. I think that's a good observation. Yeah, and it does feel like Ding should not have made it so difficult for himself, considering the fact that I think we were all universally in agreement that he was just better out of the opening. So it's definitely not where you would have expected him to be by move 35.
If Alireza were to somehow win this position and force the Armageddon, I think he's favorite for the Armageddon. First, he's an exceptional.
Yeah, I think in the 5 against 4 in particular.
But it's not just that.
In particular, because of
what's happened on the board.
Satira's board
winning and then better. And if he loses, if he loses this, and he obviously didn't win the previous one, I think the momentum would just be too much to overcome. But
and we have Armageddon, and Magnus insists on his choice of the Scheveningen. Alexander, do you feel better about it for this one?
No, I mean, knight b3, what is this? I mean, it's...
No, but I think here you're actually kind of supposed to play knight b3, because I think castles, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, b6 is supposed to be like an immediate equality. But once again,
come on. I mean, this is like where they go bishop d7, knight b3, bishop c8. Yeah, that's the one.
This is Gary to tempi up, no? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. This one is just. I mean, knight b3 at least with the idea g4, queen e2 long castle, but I mean not with the idea short castle. That's just.
That doesn't seem right
at least all. King is on g1. At least because king is actually not worse on g1 than on h1 after you push g4, g5.
Ah, okay, like that.
Yeah, I mean, at least.
Showing a very concrete idea of just playing e5 very quickly. I was wondering, like, I expected him to play b5 in this position, to be honest. I thought the plan was to push the bishop away from the g1, a7 diagonal and go b5, queen b6. But e5 is also a very, very strict idea. Obviously, if you get to take on f4, I'm wondering if white is actually supposed to play just play h4 here and.
Sorry to interrupt. Am I reading the clock right? Why?
No, it's wrong. I think there's complaints already because white has more time. So this can't be.
Yeah. What? Yeah, exactly. White should have more time.
But I mean, black is doing extremely well, no? After e5.
Yeah, if we
e8.
disregard the clocks. Although, I mean, it's not impossible that Hikaru just somehow, is it? That he
No,
just
it's
burned.
impossible.
Yeah, should not
It's
be.
impossible.
Yeah, also there's no increment, so Magnus cannot possibly have 412. So.
No, I think it's just the reverse. That
Hikaru sometimes he plays the opening. I think it's a bullet habit, like so quickly. I think he himself doesn't realize what move he's played. I mean, how do you end up in such a position? This is so bad.
Yeah, this is really not great at all. And
Now
now the
maybe
pawn on
it's
h4 appears to.
It's just lost now. I mean, h4 is falling.
C4 maybe.
If rook g4,
Rook
you
c4.
just go knight c5.
Yeah,
Bishop c4, even knight
Bishop
f4.
c4, but knight
lose
f4
material,
also.
no?
Ah, yes. No, okay. But I don't know how for the second.
He has to go maybe rook f2. Yeah, but
Knight
not
h4?
knight h4. Yeah, I don't even manage. I don't even have time for knight e7, rook h2 because of queen e4. So
No, I
it's
think
just-
it just collapses. The entire thing
Yeah.
is about to completely collapse. Yeah, it's remarkable to have this position.
Hikaru's just thrown his hands up in the air, like this.
Rook f2 played.
What's going on?
Bishop d5.
Bishop
going
d5
like this and
confuses
watching
me
the
a little
video.
bit. Why
I
did
think
we
something.
play?
I think something weird is happening there, like some kind of a bug type of thing. Because
ed.
No,
Knight
this,
h4.
yeah,
Oh.
judging by facial expressions, something is not
g5.
quite right.
Bishop c4. What is going on? Queen g5 check. King f1.
Knight f5.
And knight
f5.
f5, and well, black is completely winning, but once again, with no input, it's hard to judge. But it does appear as if at some point, at least Hikaru was confused by more than just the position on the board.
and he's also talking. I don't know why he's talking, but is he streaming by any chance?
I think he's streaming.
Okay, yeah. But this is just perpetual. Black just gives perpetual.
Yeah, white is clearly worse here, and I don't think you.
Yeah, I think
I don't
Hikaru
think
is
you
streaming
can-
this game. That's what it is.
Wow. Meanwhile, in the other game, we've got 3 against 2, which with 2 rooks.
With 4 rooks, yeah, with 4
Oh,
rooks on the board,
yeah.
which is maybe
Sorry.
slightly trickier than.
So is this game over? The Nakamura Carlsen is perpetual? I don't see.
Hikaru is not
Result.
streaming. I wonder if there was a genuine time clock error here.
Maybe they set it up the wrong way around.
Yeah,
or something
the
must have
clock was
happened.
set up. Maybe the clock is really set up wrong. Maybe what we see is how they see it as well, and that's why he's frustrated.
In which case, of
Maybe
course,
he will demand the replay.
of course,
Yeah.
Okay,
of course
no,
he
it
needs a
started with the
replay.
wrong times. What can you do?
Of-
Yeah, they did, because on Chess24 website it's the same time as well. Yeah.
Okay, but they will have to replay. There's no question.
Then they tried to do this manually and they got it. I don't know.
Yeah, they
Guessing here.
challenged each other wrongly, probably.
Yeah, so there's some potential for drama here.
That would be
No,
nice.
we have
Appeals committee. Peter, are you on the appeals committee?
I am
Very good,
very
Sasha.
much not on the appeals committee. Thank goodness. I would not want to be on the appeals committee for this one, frankly.
Well, it's not even, and it's nothing to discuss. I mean, the whole point is that you're supposed to have less time as white. The game will be replayed, I'm hearing. So it seems as though the times were
Okay, but-
wrong.
I mean, you still made those moves, yeah?
Yeah, no, you start with this position, of course. But
You have to be punished for making all these moves. You cannot just start from.
at least you should be forced to start after bishop f3
Because
97.
at least somewhere there. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So the question is, let me ask Peter.
Look at
let me ask all
Magnus.
of you. Let me ask. I was going to say as the most experienced in simply time terms, these kind of positions with the double rook endings.
Yeah.
What is there a way to play them differently? Because we know 3+2, which is 2 rooks, is an easy hold. But how do you even create chances with both sets of rooks on the board?
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know if you do necessarily, because it's not even that easy to avoid one of your rooks getting chased around forever.
But come on, this is a draw. No one cares. We want to know what's happening in the other game. Are they replaying it? Are they replaying it now? Is there?
I think what I've seen is that it probably will get replayed, which you have to expect probably pleases Hikaru slightly more than
Is
it pleases
Magnus currently punching something or someone in his flat? Like, I'm a bit worried.
He's going completely nuts, Magnus, off screen here, probably complaining to his.
But guys, I have a question. I have an important. Sorry, Peter. I have an important question because as of late on Chess24, there have been so many outrageous things happening. Like Magnus lost the match, and then this. Is it all some sort of a PR stunt, which is to generate more drama, more viewership, more readership, and all that? Because somehow too many weird things are happening that are not supposed to be happening.
Yeah, basically, the former marketing manager of the WWE is now working for Chess24. That's
because this is really scripted. Everything. I mean, this cannot be.
Yeah,
like that, right? We're waiting for Brock Lesnar to like show up behind Magnus with a chair or something.
This is just a draw now in the thing game.
Yeah, this has been missed, I assume, by Alireza. Black can just play King H7 here and go Rook G6 at the end. Rook F8 also draws, but there's really no reason even to allow a 3 against 2 anymore. I think King H7 is an immediate draw. I don't think there's any.
He wants to play H5, I think. But...
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. He can want to play H5 all he wants, but
he's losing that H pawn after Rook takes.
Yeah, he just loses it after Rook Ff2. So it's yeah, Rook E7.
So he should start with King H3, of course. King
of
H3.
Course, yeah.
Then if
King H3 is the professional.
Bf2, then H5.
Rook F8 though.
And then Rook G8.
And then Rook G8, and I think I'm kind of home dry.
G6 played.
Yeah, this one is not long for the world.
Yeah, sometimes you have these situations where there is no fair solution, like with Magnus right now. Because
no, but what I wanted to say before Anish interrupted me to engage in some conspiracy theorism, which is why I now feel justified in not letting him speak for a bit. And now I've completely lost my train of thought. No, the point is, like, you start that game and there is a screen in front of you which also shows you the clocks, right? How did they not stop it after 2 moves when it says white has...
No, but the question is, I think it was, or from, I'm trying to gather, I'm reading some chat. I think it was displayed right in the play zone, but not in this PGN WeGet that transfers it to our live chess viewer. So there seems to be a lot of mayhem there, but...
Okay. That at least explains the answer to the question I was trying to address, because...
Apparently, from what I'm hearing, is the clocks were correct in the play zone, but now I'm reading the problem is we disturbed Nakamura in the middle of the game. I'm not sure who did that. If someone was talking on the I'm assuming Zoom call or something they're on, or what happened. But it seems like it wasn't a thing, but I could be wrong.
Somebody was muttering something in Norwegian or something.
I don't know. I'm making up stuff. I'm just trying to interpret what I'm reading here. Oof. Drama.
You know, we have a very famous TV show in Russia called Intrigues, Scandals, Investigations.
Yeah, sounds great.
So what's going on here? Who are we waiting for?
I'm waiting for everything, frankly. I have no idea what's going on.
The clocks were wrong in the play zone. If you look at the play zone, actually, at the Chess24 website, I think the clocks are wrong.
It's being checked. Oh, what happened? Oh, boy. So, in the meantime, the Alireza versus Ding game has ended peacefully. That means, I think, with clarity, we can confirm that Ding Liren wins his match against Alireza Firouzja 2.5, 1.5, while we are anxiously awaiting news on what happened and why and where.
Well, Ding, it was a decent-ish start by Ding. I mean, the first game, the Naidorf was very nice. There were some rocky moments in the other games. Sorry, not the first game, the second game. The first game was obviously...
No, I think Ding has every reason to be satisfied with his day's work, because at the final count he should have won bigger, because he was completely and utterly winning in game 3, which ended up being a draw. But as long as that doesn't cost him any points, you can chalk it off as for experience and proceed happily, knowing that he played well for the vast majority of the match. So
great, and
I think he'll be fine.
While we wait for confirmation about what's going on with Nakamura and Carlsen,
I'm reading that. Yeah, Magnus says the clocks were fine. Go ahead.
Maybe there'll be no replay. We'll just get final confirmation soon. But of course, this is a perfect moment for all of you guys to get yourselves made premium. We've got 2 huge deals for today. So first and foremost, if you become premium using the premium code or the voucher code, stay at home, you get 40% off a Chess24 premium membership, giving you access to hundreds of hours of training videos, the ability to play banter blitzes against Magnus Carlsen, Peter Svidler, and everything else. And
Anish, are you doing a banter blitz? That's part of the deal. Have you done one? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, first you don't tell me to do anything, and then on air you're calling me out for not doing one. I mean, I'm waiting for...
No, I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking.
No, I don't know. Everybody's doing it. I haven't been asked to. And I mean, if you want to put me on the spot, you can...
No, this was part... I'm trying to work you into the plug to tell the people there's an upcoming Anish Giri banter blitz.
Like that. Yeah. It's in that sense. Yeah, for sure. No, I owe you guys a bunch of banter blitzes. So any moment...
Ooh.
To play against Anish, then become premium and you'll have a shot to play Anish Giri on Monday.
And we have a tweet by Hikaru. He's saying, fun match, very unsatisfactory ending, with the arbiter writing a message to me in the middle of the game to abort while I'm thinking about playing King F1 or King H1. Not that it changes the outcome, but still. Okay, so it wasn't the clocks in the play zone, but yeah, Hikaru got a message in the middle of the game to abort, I feel, but I'm not sure. It sounds to me like now the discussion has come to, they're not replaying it. If someone can tell me, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, the tone of that tweet does seem to imply that Hikaru is not pushing for, the annulment of the result. He just says that he would have preferred for that not to have happened.
Very understandable. I don't know what happened, but from what I got from that tweet.
Who is on the appeals committee? That's what I'm curious about.
We've established Peter's not on it.
Peter's not on it.
I think this, what's his name, Nikolopoulos, he's the head arbiter, and I'm not quite sure if there is an appeals committee and who is on that.
Yeah, but frankly, I mean, Hikaru seems to have accepted his faith, no?
Yeah, also. But in general, there shouldn't... I don't think it's... I'm just confused. How can you even reach the players while they're playing, right? I mean, you can't expect them to check messages while they're playing a blitz game, no? So, like, it's... seems like a complicated situation. I hope we'll hear from the players what happened there. Drama, baby. And other than that, there seems to be the separate issue that in our live game viewer, this tool we're using here to display the games, the clocks, there was some PGN error or something, but apparently that was not what the players saw. So much action.
So much.
Yeah, and we do appear to have confirmation that the result stands and Magnus wins his game against Hikaru on with the 2-1 score, since the match did go to Armageddon.
All right. So as far as we understand, Magnus does win the match. Obviously, we'll keep you guys updated if there are any appeals or changes. But that pretty much ends the action for today. Ding wins in a very, very tough match against the Iranian phenom, Alireza Firouzja. Magnus wins an absolute topsy-turvy affair with Hikaru Nakamura. As far as things stand at the moment, obviously, if there are
no draws in that one, which is, I think, something that you could have gotten very, very good odds on. Against that happening.
Indeed. And it's been incredibly fun as well to commentate with 3 legends and a guy from Hamburg.
Come on, there's always Anish is always the punchline of that joke. You have to say 3 legends and Anish Giri.
I'm bored of this.
Don't you read Twitter?
No, it's been super fun. And the great news is we've just got endless days of this. Endless days. No break.
Endless days.
Endless days of action, which I'm very excited about. Have we got anything else to add?
Tomorrow Anish is playing against MVL, so we should let him go so he can prepare a little bit. And what's the other match of tomorrow?
Nepomniachtchi against Caruana.
Also not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, so good luck to Anish, my teammate, Chess Brass.
Yes, the chess brass. Thank you.
Yes, and see you, everyone.
Yes, bye-bye.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you same time tomorrow, guys. Thanks. Cheers.
Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.